All right. Hey, everybody. I just realized my mic was not muted the entire time. Did I belch in the microphone during the music? That would have been awkward. I thought my mic was muted, and I went to unmute it to start the conversation, and hey, it was unmuted already. So sorry about that. I hope I wasn't awkward. Knowing me, it was probably very awkward, and I didn't mean to do what I did. So my apologies. Hey, the good news is this is the first live stream I've had in a while with no tech issues right off the bat. I can hear what I'm supposed to hear, and I am broadcasting what I'm supposed to be broadcasting. So glad to hang out here. And oh, I didn't remember. I got a post in the communities that I'm doing this. I am so excited. I just came off a meeting. I'm really excited. I'm going to tell you about this meeting here in a little bit, but I'm really excited about the meeting I just wrapped up. It is December 31st. This is the last day of 2024. And, days like this make me look forward to what's ahead. Now, we need to reminisce. We need to celebrate what 2024 was. And through the Church Digital, we had an incredible year. But there is so much coming forward. I can't even contain it all. And so it's like I woke up this morning and the first thing I did was jumped here on the computer, wrote some emails, did some spreadsheets, did some planning, communicated with leadership, and like it's full steam ahead. God bless Barbara Canero. I think she's it's 7 hours ahead where she is. Hey, I got my friend Yatope jumping on. Yatope, the Digital Ministry Podcast. Yay, Jeff, good to see you. Yatope, it's like, 7 o'clock p.m. In Nigeria. I think you're 5, maybe it's 9 o'clock, 5 to 7 hours ahead. But man, excited to see you on here. We got Flat Cap jumping on the stream. Let's go. Just had a conversation with Flat Cap just a second ago, and very excited about what's coming up. Oh my gosh. Such a good meeting with Flat Cap. I have been awestruck. I want to get into this conversation so much. A part of me does not even want to stop to tell people in the communities that I'm streaming. I'm afraid I'm going to lose the momentum if I actually sit down and type in the community, hey, I'm streaming, come hang out with me. So forgive me. I'm going to try to do two things at once, which pretty much sucks in my life in general because I'm horrible at doing this. So I'm going to do, hey, I'm streaming right now. Come hang out and wrap up 2024 with me, everyone. Every student. Nope, that is not the right one. And then, you see, this is so anticlimactic. I should have totally did this before. It's a rookie mistake. YouTube.com/theChurch.digital. And then I'll do that in there. Okay. All right. So I did what I did. Good to see you too. We've had an awesome year. It's like 2 years rolled into one. Yeah, hey, you know what it was? It really did feel like it was 2 years rolled into one. That's a great way to say it there, Yatope. Man, I'm excited to see all the stuff that's come out of Nigeria. By the way, Nigeria is with equipping digital missionaries. Nigeria is the number 2 country that we have people going through EDM right now. Now, of course, number 1 is America. I say of course. I long for the day when America is not number 1 in that our global influence is that high. But we've got, I'm going to guesstimate probably about 20 people right now going through EDM in America. We've got like 8 from Nigeria, I think, and so it's incredible to see. This year was so good and what's already evolving into 25. All right, so I'm gonna tell you. We're gonna tell you. Like Flat Cap and I literally just had this meeting. I like hanging out with Flat Cap just to be in the meetings, because like he has cool meetings. He gets like connected with some people, and it's really fun to see him get into these meetings and the people that he's connecting with, and he's able to get like these crazy ideas in front of. The most impactful, and I've said this time and time again, the most impactful thing we did with Giving Tuesday, the most impactful conversation I had of the 30-some conversations we had over the course of the day, 40-some conversations I had over the course of the day, maybe it was 37, I think, when all said and done, was Pastor Coco over at Final Fantasy Church, VRMMO Church. And I mean, to this day, it just made me cry. Like, honestly, I didn't sleep for a couple of nights after that. I'm like, how can we help VRMMO? How can we come alongside? How can we amplify? How can we complement what they're doing? And really, that just became my passion. How can we tangibly help some of these churches that are out there? And to be honest, that was really, if there's, and it was funny, this was, back in November, I did this 5 things to expect into 2025. 5 things to expect from the Church Digital in 2025. And if I were to do them all over again now, it would be a completely different set of 5. So much has changed between November 15th, 2025 and where we are today. Giving Tuesday was incredible. Flat Cap is saying it here. Giving Tuesday was so good. Go watch the videos on demand. It's all over the Church Digital's YouTube. It was an incredible session. But the thing that really stood out to me about Pastor Coco was the need to come alongside a church that was existing. Here's the reality. We need VRMMO to succeed. We need Pastor Coco, Final Fantasy Church, to succeed. If they don't succeed, it is going to be next to impossible to get someone else to come into that space. As VRMMO succeeds in Final Fantasy, in virtual reality, in Rust, in Black Desert Online, in any of these games, as they succeed, so will the next generation. And it really just became, all right, hey, you know what, the Church Digital, I'm not even being territorial. I'm not even sure if they're in our network and not. Like, the network's being built as we're going. It's building the plane while it's flying. But we got a problem. And the problem is this, is we've got some brothers and sisters over here in Final Fantasy. They're struggling right now. And we've got to come along and help. We got to help this generation so we can help the next generation. As this generation succeeds, so will the next generation. And that was the meeting. I've met with Pastor Coco more in the past week than I think I have my entire life combined. And it's all been, what do you need? How can we help? Who's in there? DJ has built an incredible thing with VR MMO, but sometimes it's, hey, we need help to make this happen. And it's okay, all hands on deck. What do we got to do for Final Fantasy? And so we literally, it was so funny. I met with Pastor Coco. We talked about this in an earlier stream, but they had maybe 2, 3, 4 different things that they were hey, it'd be great if could we figure this out. They're needing somebody to fill in the virtual side, needing somebody to fill in what's the word? In preaching, fill in the pulpit. I cast vision about the idea of sending a member team, volunteer support to come alongside and help for a season. They're interested in that. There's some other things that we had talked about organizationally complementing. And the one thing was so funny. The one thing they said, oh, by the way, we really need this. We need to be the ability to tell impactful videos, testimony videos. They want to be able to celebrate the life change that's happening inside Final Fantasy Church and cast vision to the legitimacy of it being a church, and at the same time draw attention to what it's doing so that others can rally around and support Final Fantasy. And it's like, that's a great idea. And so she's like, hey, do you know anybody who is who's capable of doing something like that? And it's funny, I actually do know a lot of people that are capable of that. As a former creative director, communications director, weekend experience director, I cannot tell you how many testimony videos I and my team of staff and volunteers have shot over the years. I mean, hundreds over the decades, maybe thousands. over the decades? Like, yes, there's a lot of people that I can think of right now that are capable of filming a video in real life. Like, I mean, let's book a DP, a director of photography, to come in, and he can shoot it. We'll set up a 3-camera shoot in a studio with a sync wall. And oh wait, this is in Final Fantasy. How do you tell an in-game testimony with someone in game? How do you set up a 3-camera shoot to do an interview in game? How do you shoot B-roll? Like, all of a sudden, my head's racking because I'm not going to my normal go-tos because I can't. This is an Avatar story, not the blue people, not the Smurfs, but this is a story that needs to be told in camera. And then I realized something. When I was doing the interview with Pastor Coco on Giving Tuesday, it was a lot of people don't know this. I was secretly texting hundreds of people off camera, literally, like, just my go-to people, inviting them to be part of the conversation and engaging in conversations with people, texting, direct messaging them via SMS. And one of the people, when Pastor Coco was on, was a guy named Jeremiah Pena, who actually is a gamer. He is a Final Fantasy guy, and he was geeking out. Jeff, I didn't know this existed in Final Fantasy. This is so cool. He joined the community. He ended up meeting Pastor Coco off camera, and I'm having this conversation with Pastor Coco. And the first person that came to mind when she's talking about in-game testimony, I'm pretty sure Jeremiah Pena would be interested. Oh, by the way, Jeremiah is an incredible video editor. Like, he's edited and animator, incredible animator, almost better than his video editing. But he is an incredible gifted, and he works for a Christian school now. He used to work for a church. He used to work for the county doing video editing. Now he works for a Christian school here in Miami. And I was like, oh my gosh, I got to get Jeremiah connected to Pastor Coco. Oh wait, they already are connected. I just got to make sure they know that what each other's skill sets are. And that was the meeting today. We were literally talking through how to do this, how to do videos in Final Fantasy. Oh, it was so good. Yeah, like in Flat Cap, yes, but in game, it's a great new challenge. It's super cool. Excited for that. Ukulele jumping in. Ukulele is giving away a secret. You need to have a few extra characters to do in-game capture, but it could be done. Yeah, and that's what we're talking about. We're talking about inviting 2 or 3 volunteers in to be the virtual cameras to capture, and then collecting their footage after the fact, piecing it together. The interview is not as hard as the testimony, as the B-roll that would be added to it. The B-roll is going to be a little more complicated. And then Pastor Coco said the best words I could ever hear. Hey, Jeff, while this is happening, could Jeremiah, could you guys teach us how to do that? So like we would love to. Like, it is so cool for us to figure out how to teach others. Like, it's one thing for us to do it, and then everybody's addicted to the church digital. But it's not. It's for us. It's not about that. It's how can we train? How can we multiply these ideas out? I don't want Pastor Coco. I don't want to be fulfilling Pastor Coco's pulpit for the rest of VR MMOs. Like, that's. But if we can, for a season, so that they can build up underneath them, if we can train their volunteers on some techniques, if we can simplify the process to make it more volunteer friendly, if we can provide some resources that spark the imagination. To happen in a unique way, why would we not do that? I love that Flat Cap downloading free trial as we speak. I don't even know if I have never played 1 minute of Final Fantasy anything. I'll be honest with you. My daughter, I could call her in here. She's not here. She's out doing the returns for all the Christmas stuff. They had to go buy some stuff. So my wife and my daughter's out. My daughter's obsessed with Final Fantasy anything. She actually, Final Fantasy is the game with which we do not speak. She gets so sucked into the lore. Here's what happened. My brother-in-law, John Castle, my wife's brother, I found out he's the one I'm mad at. He sent my daughter all these YouTube videos that's all the backstory of all the Final Fantasy, all the the cutscenes, the commentaries, the behind the scenes, the this. She knows the entire storyline of everything, and I think she's only played maybe one or two of the Final Fantasy games. She's more of the what's the Disney version of Final Fantasy, the Kingdom Hearts. That's what she plays more, but she knows all the Final Fantasy stuff. And my daughter is so obsessive, and she has such a good memory, photo memory here. She just starts rattling off on this stuff, and it's like, and so I listen. Final Fantasy Church is not going to reach 47-year-old Jeff Reed, almost 50-year-old Jeff Reed. Maybe it's going to reach somebody in their 50s, but I'll tell you what, 30-something Jeremiah Pena loves Final Fantasy. 16-year-old Caitlin Reed loves Final Fantasy. And the ability to create a community in a unique space to connect with people that may not all. It was funny. She said, Pastor Coco said, Jeff, there are a lot of people that have stories and testimonies that they want to share, but they're all introverted. And they need coaching. They need coaxing. They need to be able to get over their introvertedness to be able to share the stories. Y'all, Final Fantasy Church is reaching a caliber of person that is not often connecting with us in physical space. It's not the people that are going to the buildings. We're doing something different to reach someone different. And to be able to come alongside Pastor Coco and help amplify that. So I told Flat Cap, I think we talked about this Christmas Eve. I literally changed the guy's job profile, and it's still evolving as we speak. But it's basically, I need a better word. Maybe I've used this word enough. It's probably just going to be it. I want to come alongside physical church or digital churches, digital missionaries that are already doing their stuff, that are struggling, and I want to be able to provide tangible resources. Through connections, through relationships, through partnerships, through organizational partnerships, through us as the Church Digital, through just random people that I know that have a skill set that might be interested in helping. I want to come alongside. It was funny. I even challenged us internally. Like, one a month. I don't even, hey, Leighton, as you're listening to this, sorry, I probably should have told you this first. But I'm even like, could we find one organization a month? 12 organizations. I don't have that many fingers. 1, 2. Can we find, that's 21. I'm looking at it backwards. 1, 2. 21. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1. How embarrassing was that for me right there? That was really bad. Can we find 12 organizations? Can we partner with in 25 to help them? Can we tangibly resource one organization a month with a pulpit, with a ministry need, with a video creation, with some sort of a resource? Can we provide database support? Can we help create a structure for these organizations so they can sustain where they are and even get closer to multiplying these ideas out further? I haven't even gotten into EDM. But the thing that jacks me up, the thing that's got me excited about 2025 is coming alongside that next generation. Coming alongside the people that are existing now and sustaining their ministry that they are currently doing with hopes of being able to get it moved, to be able to get it supported, to be able to get it stable so that it can multiply and grow out. As this generation succeeds, so will the next. The people that are washing up on the shore with machetes right now, they need to succeed. And I tell you what, we are the Church Digital. We want to come alongside the Pastor Cocos, the VR MMOs, the Final Fantasies, the virtual realities, the Twitches, the Discords, anybody that's out there. And we want to see success, kingdom success. This is not kingdom. This is kingdom. This is kingdom over castle. This is not castle. This is not branded the Church Digital. I'm jacked up, excited about this on a stream, and to be honest, I don't care who knows about it. But I'm not trying to build myself into this. I'm trying to build the kingdom into this. If you're watching this and your organization needs help, we are an open book ready to go. And I literally have a guy whose job title right now, pending job title with Leighton, is, what did I say it was, Leighton? Director of Tangible Resourcing. I don't know what that means, but we're going to figure it out. We'll figure it out together. Ukulele, I love that. This is so concrete. I just want to help. Christmas gift. You like that? A yellow mug. My blockhead. Yeah, I love it. I got all yellow stuff for Christmas. You will see me. I'm actually not wearing a hat right now, but you'll see me wearing yellow hats with random brands and yeah, you'll see me in so much yellow stuff. My family went above board for me for Christmas. You know, it used to be I used to get a lot of penguins, and long story. In my Scrooge days, I was all about, I really wasn't. I was in retail and church work, and when you're working church and you're working retail, you don't get excited about Christmas because so much of work was Christmas, and so I was not a Christmas guy, and long story short, you know, my mom was like, Jeff, you got to be, my mom's, love language is all about gifts. And she's like, well, Jeff, you got to have something. Like, you know, get in the Christmas spirit. I was like, fine, I want a penguin. And there was one year that I was like, listen, one thing I want for Christmas, give me a South African jackass penguin. I want that. We'll put it in the tub. And literally, I wanted a real life penguin from South Africa. They're called the South African jackass penguin, by the way. And, honest God, true story. And I did not get a penguin, but I got, 50 other stuffed penguins. They're lined my bookshelf now. And so penguins was the thing I was like all about obsessive about for a while. And finally, I think I've got them over the penguins. And then it was like the Funko Pops. And you can see like the massive amount of Funko Pops that have been gifts over the years. And I've even got more of that. I think everybody's Funko popped out at this point. Like, it's just a couple of them coming in. The new thing is yellow. And so like I've got my own coffee machine in here. So it's like I can make my own coffee in my office. I don't have to go to the kitchen. I've got a mug tree with different color yellow mugs. And so I'm like on brand drinking from my blockhead. Nothing better than cold coffee. That thing's been sitting there for hours. Love it. I've been so busy jumping in these calls. Oh my gosh. I haven't even talked. Hey, you know what? It's 2024. We are wrapping up the year. Oh, so much I want to talk about. So Giving Tuesday, we had 15,000, I think, come in off of Giving Tuesday. The goal was 20,000. I think we had 15, which was awesome. So proud of us even into getting to that point. End of year giving, we're in the midst of that right now. We've been getting several donations even coming in today. A couple emails went out to talk about this, but we've got the goal of 25, maybe 30,000. We're 7,000 or 8,000 in the midst of that. Listen, if you've not, I want to challenge everybody with this one idea. I would love for some of us that are active with the Church Digital. I want us to own the vision of the Church Digital. I want you to be an owner of this. And here's what I'm asking for. I want all of you out there, if you're watching this, if you're watching me on freaking New Year's Eve, you own this vision. And to complete it, I'm going to ask this. A monthly donation. I don't care if the donation's $5. I don't care if it's $2. I don't care if it's 50 cents. Whatever the minimum in the system, I think $3 is what the system will allow as a minimum. Do that as a monthly donation. I would rather see, and it's really interesting. I've been getting there was a CEO of a Christian tech company, a very large Christian tech company that made a donation this morning. A couple digital missionaries made a couple donations over the past couple days. A personal friend of mine from the years back made a very large donation. Like, listen, all these one-time donations are beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate that. But they're outsiders who are seeing the vision of this, and they're investing into it. They're not owners of it. They have their own vision. I want you to own this. And to own this, I'm literally asking for some of you to do a monthly donation. I have no idea what all those. I don't speak emoji. I'm going to be honest. So Flat Caps got all that. I don't know how that translates into real life language, but at the heart of that, I'm assuming that's saying, give monthly, catch the vision, own the vision of this, partner with us in what we're doing. As we're paying for resources for existing digital churches, as we're training the next version of digital missionaries coming along. I hate to make it about money, but at the end of this is all about money at some level. How are we able to invest in how are we able to use the finances that are coming in, that are available to us? And to be honest, there's a lot larger vision ahead for us than what our finances allow for. So it's going to be a challenge. I want to give you a sneak peek of 2025. One stat. I've talked about this with the leadership team, and if there's one thing that defines 2025, it's this: the big ask, big ask with a K. I want to make sure I'm clear. The goal of 2025 is we want to equip 200 people to be digital missionaries. Right now, we're taking EDM, equipping digital missionaries, and we'll probably graduate with about 50 people from, I'm guessing, probably 20 to 25 countries are going to graduate the EDM course here coming up. And I think the course wraps up in mid-February. Of those people, by the end of the year, it's our goal. We've got Oceania is actually starting equipping digital missionaries. It's starting in January. theChurch.digital/EDM. I'm going to be doing some other cohorts as well in January. There's another batch of cohorts starting in March, and we're going to see more of our outposts start to get launched, and they're going to start to do their own trainings in this space. That's not going to be the Church Digital centralized, and we're going to see the ideas of equipping digital missionaries start to get contextualized into different Indian dialects, into the Middle East and North Africa, into we're even meeting about what it's going to look like in South America. Like, there's some incredible conversations. But it's the goal of the Church Digital. It's the goal of the Church Digital to have 200, to train 200 digital missionaries by the end of 25. So by this time next year, 365 days from today, the Church Digital will have equipped 200 digital missionaries. What does that mean? All right, let's just talk crazy here for a second, because who are you talking to? If we can get 200 missionaries to have 2 conversations a week, 200 missionaries to have 2 gospel conversations a week over the span of 50 weeks, that would be 2 conversations a week for 50 weeks. So that would be 100 conversations over 2025. 200 digital missionaries having 100 gospel conversations. I'm bad at math, but that's 20,000 gospel conversations. The Church Digital will have the ability to share Christ with 20,000 people over the course of 2025. That is the big audacious goal for the Church Digital in 25. I want to see 20,025 gospel conversations in the year 2025 through our digital missionaries, through the digital churches, through the digital whatever, missionaries, churches, organizations, individuals, like one-on-one, having a conversation, sharing Jesus, relational discipleship, relational evangelism. 20,000. Listen, I can't. Well, Jeff, that's a very egotistical number. Listen. I'm not putting it. Whether they accept Christ or not, that's not up to me. That's the Holy Spirit. That's the Holy Spirit doing what it's doing. I'm not responsible for what a person decides to do with that information. I am responsible for the conversation. 20,000 gospel conversations, 20,025 gospel conversations in 2025. Flat Cap's got it right there, 20,025. Utope's looking at that, 20,000 gospel conversations in 2025 is a great goal. By the way, Utope, congratulations, bro. You play a part in that. You and the network that you're building out there in sub-Saharan South Africa. Man, we're giving you EDM for you to contextualize, for you to own, and then you can start to train others for that. And by the way, I'm not charging Utope a penny for this. It's open-handed. You got the freaking equipping material given to you on a silver platter. Go and run with it. You know, and then this is right here. This is what I love about Utope. You can see it. I'm trying to get my finger right there. It's doable. 20,000 gospel conversations in 2025. Let's do our bit and the Holy Spirit will do his. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I'm asking for, is let's do our part and let the Holy Spirit do his. Could you imagine? It's funny. I've got I need to take a photo of this right here. I wrote the word advocacy. I've got a white desk, and I wrote the word advocacy, and it on my desk. Jason Morris challenged me. You know, it's funny. Like I'm a type A. I'm a strong personality. You probably know this. If you watch the stream a lot, and when people push back on me, it makes me stronger. What doesn't kill me will make me stronger, and I remember early on when Jason Morris was starting to get involved in the Church Digital, like at a deep leadership level in 23, we'll call it mid 23. Jason Morris, he said to me, he's like, do you just want to be an advocacy group, Jeff, or do you want to do something else? And the idea of just being an advocacy, that stung. That was like a knife to the gut a little bit, like right between the ribs. And it's like, we are not going to just be advocacy. I am not going to just talk. It's almost why I say to Leighton, it's like, Leighton, we're going to freaking be tangible. You're going to go find where we can be tangible. Go. That's your responsibility. That's why it's connect, community, equipping. We're not going to just be advocacy. Like, advocacy is an F-bomb in my mind. It was so funny. I was working with Barbara on a side project, and she made the mistake, and I have the chip on the shoulder of advocacy, I get it, but she made the mistake of saying, well, with this project, we're going to be an advocacy group, and I bit her head off. I was like, there is no, you got to come up with a different word. I'm not saying you're wrong, but advocacy, you might as well have just cussed me out. We are not going to just talk about this. We cannot just talk about this. The effectiveness of digital missions work is being gauged by the effectiveness on the mission field. Orators getting around and talking about it, I've played that game. It doesn't win. It doesn't make a difference. The life change is what makes a difference. Filming this story in Final Fantasy Church, getting the life change of what that person's gone through, where others can see it, where others can understand it. We don't win just by talking about it. We win in the mission field. The battlefield is not orating. It's not fighting. It's not going to be won in a conference. The battle is going to be won in the battle's going to be won on the mission field. And so I want to challenge you all to start to have these gospel conversations. Work with us towards achieving this 2025 goal. Flat Cap says it, 20,025. How do you be part of the network with this? Go through EDM. EDM we're going to equip, but also going through EDM, we're going to give you the resources to do this, the training to do this. We're going to get you connected in a network, in an outpost where we're already doing this. And we're going to get you the resources and help you with the database. And oh my gosh, we've started working. I don't even know if I've talked about this. We're talking with Stacy Knapp, a lot of Welcoming Grief, really starting to talk with her now about what does it look like for us to provide care for the digital missionaries, like emotional, mental, physical, spiritual care for the missionaries that are out there. And for us, the gateway for all this is EDM. Like EDM is the thing, that's what we ask. Go through equipping digital missionaries. And as you go through that and we get you into an outpost, if you're in an outpost, if you go through EDM, all the resources of the Church Digital are open to you. It's like a buffet. And oh my gosh, there's so much. There's so much. I tried to, the last meeting I had, I think it was December 23rd, the last leadership meeting, I had to do a brain dump with the leadership, because I was like, basically, I could share you the slide deck presentation right now, but basically it was like, okay, this is everything. I just need to brain dump on you before the end of the year, because I'm moving on this, and I at least need leadership to know that this is the direction that we're moving. I talk about this with the board, and the board is like, oh my gosh, Jeff, this is incredible. Like, there is so much potential that we are coming alongside, and this is not about self. It's about you. The future of the church. Oh my gosh. I need to figure out. I cannot figure out how to do a screen share. We're literally redoing the org chart of the Church Digital. It is no longer its interest. Digital care is so important. Just had a friend's with parents' death right after Christmas. Being able to provide care for individuals, that's so important. Flat Cap, thank you for doing that and stepping in. That is really a lot of the stuff that Stacy is known for. But we're flipping the script on the Church Digital. Jeff, you always flip the script. Of course. Because thinking backwards, Stacy just accepted the meeting I had with her on Friday. I just got the email. Flipping the script is what makes things impactful. Doing things different than what everyone else does. It's the blue ocean instead of the red, because you're doing the one thing different than what everybody else is. I've said this in our outpost leader meetings. You are the future of the Church Digital. It's not me. I'm a peon. I am a white man with a beard, bald, sitting behind a camera. I have no influence in Europe, in South America, in Sub-Saharan South Africa. I have no influence in the gaming sphere. I don't have any influence in Oceania. I am a mere man. And so this is not about me. I want to create a network that empowers you to do the things that God's calling you to do, and provide the resources to help you achieve what God is calling you to do. This is interesting. I met with a former executive pastor friend of mine. I would say this man's a mentor in my life. And so I had coffee with him. I hadn't seen him for 4 years. And so we sat down for coffee the day after Christmas, December 26th. And okay, so Frank is type A. Like, you think I'm hardcore? Frank is hardcore on caffeine. He's hardcore on steroids. At least that's the Frank that I was expecting. And we sit down at the Starbucks. It's like 8 a.m. And he tells me he went, like, I started talking. He's like, "What's going on with you?" And I started talking about me first, and he jumps out of his seat and he's like, "I knew it. I knew you'd had the formula. I knew you would figure it out." And he just got so excited because I was telling him a lot of the wins that we've had through the Church Digital. This move to digital missionary has been incredible for us, working with individuals like you. And then I was like, "Well, Frank, tell me what's going on in your world." Frank's mid-50s. He's older than me. He's closer to that, closer to death than birth. Let's just say it that way. And Frank starts to tell me his vision of where ministry has taken him. Frank never fit in the church space. Frank tried to fit in the church space, but honestly, the limiters of the church that a lot of us have faced, he tried to like cram himself in that space, and it didn't work. Don't need to get into it. But Frank has developed this ministry, and it's all about helping people on the older side of life, people in their like 60s and 70s, where he's literally like providing tangible resources, helping sell the house, helping them transition into long-term care if they don't have someone, helping gather family members alongside, network and communicate. He's even gotten to the place where he's pastoring and shepherding people that are at that place in life. Like, it's really incredible how Frank has developed this ministry. And it's interesting. This ministry has nothing to do with digital, but it needs to be resourced from a digital space. And I'm looking what Frank's doing, and I'm like, how can the Church Digital even help a guy like Frank do what he's doing, even if it's outside of digital space? Or how can we come along Frank, who's resourcing people on the verge of dying, and how can we help him better utilize digital to connect with others? It's this really interesting challenge. I think our Equipping Digital Missionaries gives us an opportunity to do ministry in blue ocean. Not red ocean, where a bunch of other people are, where there's a bunch of noise and congestion. Final Fantasy's blue ocean. There's nobody in that space. If we could get a dozen missionaries to just drop in with Pastor Coco, oh my gosh, I believe that lives would be changed in that space. And to be honest, I see that same thing when I look at some of the stuff that Frank's doing in physical space. Digital missionaries is not anti-physical. And this is the thing. People are like, "Well, Jeff, you're anti-physical." No, I'm actually very pro-physical. It was interesting. The guy that so I live in Miami. Jeremiah, the guy that I want to get Pastor Coco connected with to edit, he lives in Miami too. I actually had coffee with Jeremiah on Friday. And come to find out, the person that we're interviewing lives in South Florida. And so Jeremiah is like, "Well, how can I get together with this guy? I'd actually like to have, somebody I know that's a geek in Final Fantasy space that lives near me." Like, there's an opportunity to connect together physically. Digital is not physical. Is not the absence of physical. Digital understands, though, the power of digital to complement what happens physical, or to work alongside what happens physical. That's what I think a lot of people miss. It's not and or, it's both, yes. It's not and or, it's both, yes. It's not the absence of, it's including it. Yes. Yes, may be repetitive there. Oh my gosh. I am so excited. And I'll tell you, a great way, I'm actually curious where we are right now. I'm going to get my phone. We are doing, and I'll put this in WhatsApp and in Discord, but we are doing Jason Morris, we did this last year. I need your help. So we did EDM, we did giving, like, all those are hugely important. EDM is the gateway to untold resources. Once we start rolling out all these resources, you're going to be like, "Oh my gosh, I have to do this." Just to be able to have accountability and transparency with people, to be a part of something larger. You're going to want to be a part of going through EDM because of what EDM is going to give you on the flip side. For free? But beyond that, we're doing something really cool that I need your help with at the beginning of the year. I'm hoping that music's going to kick in. There it is. I hate that gap. I don't like the blend over, but the music's got to come up quicker. We're doing a Bible reading plan. Okay, I suck at this. My kryptonite is reading the Bible daily. I'm just this is blunt, this is honest. I am talking to the people who are watching right here on this screen. I am horrible at reading the Bible daily. I have always, it always comes up every January 1st. Somebody's like, okay, hey, read this plan with us. And I'm all excited. I'm all in. I'm going to do it. And it's funny. It's in past years, I would even start early just to build up because I'm like, I know I'm going to fail when I get up to a point and I'm going to bottom out. And it's true. Like I'll get into Genesis, Exodus. One year I got all the way up to Leviticus, and somewhere in Leviticus and Numbers, it just bottoms out. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Genesis I could engage with pretty strong. But man, I'll rarely. My wife's birthday is February 20th. My Valentine's is the 14th. I never make it. Never make that far before I'm out. I really want this year to be different. And so this is what we're doing. We are going to do a Bible reading plan. Jason Morris is the brainchild behind this. He picked a reading plan. It's the I'm holding up here on the screen. It's the Bible recap. We've got, let's see, I think we've got 33 people in this right now that are signed up. And so the link is in WhatsApp. I'll post it again. The link's in WhatsApp and the link's in Discord. Yeah, don't read it from cover to cover. That is not I mean, to be honest, I've never done it, and so for me, that's why I want to actually try it, is to go all the way through it. But I would, I'm going to do this year. 2025 is the year that I read it from cover to cover, and so I'm going to invite you all to do this with me. Follow the link in WhatsApp and Discord. I'll publish again. I'll put it in the comments here. At some point in the YouTube video, so you've got it in even here. But it's interesting. I've got my my wife in this. My kids are in this. Like there's a good chunk of people that are doing this plan with us, and so would invite you to come be a part. 2024 was a great year for the Church Digital. 2023 was not. I had a lot of emotional up and downs, a lot of physical up and downs. 2023 ended with me. I don't think I've talked much about this, but I was driving Uber in 23. Like I was on a sabbatical of sorts in 23 and 24, and like there was a lot of trepidation in the year 2023. But God brought me through. God sustained. God healed. It's interesting. Yesterday, there's a lot of concern for me at the physical space. Actually, I haven't, other than me being in Korea for the week I was in Korea, I've not used my cane in probably 6 months. 5 to 6 months. I walked downtown. My family, we did a quick vacation to downtown Disney Springs, just like a up and back in 2 days. Up one day, back the next day. But I walked probably 4 miles in Disney Springs in one swoop, and so like my body is even starting to get physically healed, working through the issues that I've had with the neuropathy. I still have no limited feeling in my legs, but at least I'm managing stuff better with the medicine. For me, this is why it's so important for us to provide the care, to provide the accountability for the missionaries that we're a part of. Because when I did this, I was alone. For most of my ministry career, I was alone. Providing the community of like-minded people is crucial, but the connecting with people in the community is one part. We want to equip them to be missionaries. That's the course. And then we want to create accountability for them and resourcing them through the outposts. And so the future of the church digital, once again, I keep saying this and people are like, what are you talking about? It's you. You're the future. So reading the Bible together, growing together, equipping together, having conversations in safe space to be able to share what's going on in your life and get connected to others, being able to be very open and transparent in places with someone who can help you process and hold accountable, getting help creating boards of accountability for your organization moving forward. Like there is so much we, the Church Digital, want to help you achieve kingdom over castle. This is not about us, but watching you succeed, because as you succeed, as this generation succeeds, so will the next. And if we want to be effective tomorrow, then we got to be effective today. So what do you need to make that happen? This is the future Church Digital, and this is what we want to see the Church Digital become. And so I want to ask you, what is God helping you? What is God calling you? That's the right word, sorry. What is God calling you to become in 24? Where is he leading? What door is he opening? Where are you going to go in 25? As we look at the future, as we look at where you're coming from 24 and where you're going in 25, what's open before you? And how can we help you get there? That's it. So, if you're looking to connect, email Jeff at theChurch.digital, in Discord, Dear Fedge, hit me up in the community. If you want to find me on WhatsApp, 305-205-1224. That's my cell phone. That's my personal cell phone attached to that. You want to text me, email me, whatever, DM me. It is entirely in your hands. We as an organization want to help you achieve what God is calling you to. So reach out and let us know. Hey, in the streams coming up, we are going to dive in 25. We're going to do a deep dive on digital missionaries and what it means to be a digital missionary, what that framework of connect, community, equip, and mobilization, what that means at a personal level for you, and start to figure out how you can apply that to that. So you're going to look for this podcast is going to kick back up in January. You're going to see more of that connect, community, equip, mobilization. You're going to see more of that language coming back here in the streams. We'll do some interviews along the way. We're going to do a lot of one-on-one conversations too as well. But in the end, this is all about you and helping your ministry succeed in 25 and beyond. We'll probably tease a little bit about what the networks are going to look like and about how we can resource others in that. But in the end, you got to remember, that's the goal. 2025 conversations, 20,025 gospel conversations in 25. Are you in to be a part of that? Are you in to see what God can do if we're just faithful to have the conversations digitally and see the ministry potential that happens as a result of that? That's what I want. That's what we're going to do. Come join us and be a part of 20,025 conversations in 2025. I am going to pray us out. It's interesting. I don't know that I've not prayed in this. Actually, I'm thinking I've prayed before, but not in the software. So I'm mentally trying to figure out how I'm going to land the plane here in this at the end of the prayer. But I am going to pray us out for 24. I'm going to hang up, and then we're going to do a dive into 25. We're diving into 25. Look at that. I just said that on a whim. All right, let's pray, and we're going to put a bow on 24 wherever you are. Heavenly Father, God, thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for these friends that have joined in this stream, that are watching on demand. Thank you for the friends that buy into the vision of the Church Digital, into this idea of 20,000 gospel conversations in 2025. God, you know the people we need to talk to. God, you know the hearts of the people that are out there. God, you know that by us doing something different, we will connect with people that aren't connecting to buildings. God, you know the lives that need to be changed. And so, God, all we ask is that you connect us with those people, whether they accept you, whether they find you, whether their lives are changed. God, that's up to you. But at the end, God, allow us to be faithful with the conversations that we need to have. And God, we just trust you to connect us with the people we need to connect with. God, we look forward to a 2025 year that could only be described but with the word God. God, do something incredible in this upcoming year. Do something incredible through us that only you can do. Allow us to look back and celebrate 2025 as a year of incredible ministry, incredible opportunity, and incredible fruit that can only be described by saying, God did this. God, we love you. Thank you for loving us and using us the way that you do. In your name, amen. All right, everybody. Thank you for that. We're going to end with ukuleles, praying hand emoji. Know that we are praying for you through the Church Digital in 24 and looking forward to what's ahead in 25 and beyond. Have a good one. We'll see you on the flip side. Bye.